Then we have a few topics of today. Today is like the middle of the sprint, so there's anticipate that there will be less update comparing to other sprint iteration. But the major thing to talk about this week is GPT-5. GPT-5 is here. And I think everyone will talk about this one, media and so on. OpenAI did a big launching, and in the same day when they are launching, we're also launching GPT-5 on AgenticFlow. So what you can do is maybe let's talk about GPT-5 a bit, okay? I think because you should also read about GPT-5 on OpenAI, which is they read a lot of beautiful thing about OpenAI, this model where they have the beautiful coding capability, and like it can make a one game in one shot. It can even doing some creative writing and doing some health related question for health bench. And they're doing the comparison between GPT-4o and 5 and so on as well. So I think there's a lot of like hype around GPT-5 that you can read about. And they are providing different version of the model of the GPT-5 with different but what is interesting to us is that GPT-5 is leading a lot of like benchmark. Yeah, because it's supported by OpenAI, and even they are switching in ChatGPT, right? So I think just 2 days ago, when you go into ChatGPT, actually there will be no other option. There will be only one option, which is GPT-5, and depends on the complexity of your question, it will route to the certain models. Actually, that is a way that OpenAI used to save the cost. But technically, this is also helpful because it helps us to reducing the overrating operation when we are producing this agent powered by GPT-5 to our customer. All right. So basically, there's a lot of things that you can read about this. People is also ramping about that. But what I would like to feel like my personal experience about this one, it has GPT-5 is series of model. So the first one, the most important one is the intelligence. So this is the reasoning model. So when we say about reasoning model, so it means the model is going to spend some time to think before giving you an answer. So this is actually coming from a technique that's called a chain of thought. So that is a prompt technique where you are explaining the chain of thought process so that the agent can answer and following the structured thought that you already form in the system prompt. So it's anticipated to uplifting the behavior is much better. And with GPT-5, because it's adopting the reasoning model, so actually it's helpful in order to bake that chain of thought in, and it is more intelligent, I would say. And second one is about the context length. So context length, why important of context length is before we have the different model. Maybe for example like the 4o or mini, it was 108K, and with the minimum that currently is 400K. So this 400K can only achieve in by latest model. For example, like the GPT 4.1 and 4.5 and above. And right now with GPT-5, they are making as a standard. So every current model of GPT-5 is actually 400,000 token. And that means that's a lot of work that you can do on this. So 400,000 token will translate to around 300,000 words. And it could be like a couple of lot of the Rings series plus Harry Potter and a lot of other books as well. So it means it's just a lot that you can keep a long running context. And the beauty of the context length here is that it is not only about how big the contexts are, but it's also about like how it can keep the quality. So OpenAI claim that the model can keep a high performance even after 200 and I think 67K token or something. So it means like they are able to maintaining the like 95% of the capability even with the long. Because why is it important? Because we have like Gemini with 1 million token. We have Llama model with 10 million tokens. But they are like making the number is very big, but we are seeing that as long as you are going to over 200 token, it's worse. But right now, OpenAI claim that the model even like is extending to 400,000 token. It can be really good. So I do some my personal tests as well. So this is some of my personal tests. So for day to day, so this is pretty good, just a little slow comparing to the previous generation. For coding, that's pretty, I would say, the model is can planning well. For executing the coding, seem not on par with Opus 4.1, but can be replaced, can be used as the secondary for Sonnet 4. Because Sonnet 4, it was 15,000 for 1 million token, so this is much cheaper comparing to Sonnet and Opus. It means like if you're having the subscription for the OpenAI or Claude, and you would like to using some of the secondary models, so I think GPT-5 is a great work. And more importantly, because we are AgenticFlow, right? We are building agent. So I would say it is great to build a CS agent with less amounts of thinking and mathematics or retrieval. So because this model is a little slow, this is a slow model because it's having a thinking baked inside. So even with the Nano, it is feeling much slower comparing to what Gemini Flash or other model was doing. So that is something that I believe that this is my personal take on GPT-5. And strongly suggest that you can come and test by yourself in AgenticFlow. And I also have some benchmark as well that I believe that you can have. Yeah. Hey, yeah, so we bring, so I was like going to the next one. So this is a comparison. So AgenticFlow credit now can be used by GPT-5 Nano. So what is the change? So before, for Mini was our base model, and it is like to have 2 score on the intelligence, 4 score on the speed, which Nano is much faster, 5 score on the speed, and input and output is the same. The thinking token, so we have the reasoning token in here. Yeah, so this is the model. You can check on their website and you can see the comparing to 4 Mini, the 5 Nano is outcompete them completely in terms of speed, in terms of reasoning token, in terms of windows, where it have the ability to have very long context window of 400,000 token. And the more important thing is before on 4 Mini, you can only output around 16,000 token. And the GPT-5 Nano is bring you a lot of like benefit. The max output token is how long that you can let the model generate. Like before, when we have a very long blog post and so on, it cannot, because the GPT-4 was kind of like stop at 16K. But right now, it can uplift into 128K. So it means you can like having it writing a very long article, really long blog post in one shot without having problem. And it have so it is May 30, 2024 of the knowledge cutoff. So that is much helpful for you. And if you would like to have the comparison of the different model, I would suggest that you go into OpenAI and GPT-5 models compare. It will lead you into this comparison model website, where you can put between GPT-5 and O, and you can see how different of them are different together, and you can put a comparison just like a shop that you can compare. All right, but I will not go through around this here. So I will show you how you can access to the model. Okay, so you go into AgenticFlow. In here, then you can create a new agent. Let's just create a new agent. Test GPT-5. All right, so you can see that right now the agent is starting with the 4 Mini, but right here, if you go into Nano, you click on this one and then you save, and then you say hi. Can you tell me about GPT-5? As you can see in here, there's a little delays on this one. So the reason why is that because GPT-5 is including the thinking token. So the thinking token currently is not displayed on the UI. So we will need to do some improvement in order to show the thinking token so that you can see the thinking immediately. So comparing to the intelligence and speed, GPT-5 is actually outcompeting the old model and context length and so on. But comparing to the speed of the model, I think it's still a little behind some other model. So for example, like if you go into Flash, for example, you use Flash, and then you new chat, and you say hi with Flash. You can see that it is kind of instantly faster, right? Can you tell me about GPT-5? I think absolutely it will not know, right? But it will answer very fast because the knowledge cut off of Gemini Flash is here. So to be honest, Gemini 2.0 Flash is still my favorite because of the speed and also the long context length, and Google did a great job on producing this model in a very good inference layer. OpenAI GPT-5 is very new. I'm still, to be honest, I'm still figuring out like what is the best use case that I can use GPT-5 for, and maybe we can explore together. And if you have finding something new that GPT-5 is extremely good at, me, and we can make a video and tell everyone about that. Alright, so apart from GPT-5 in AgenticFlow is using your credit, so it will just let you just freely to run it. You can using other like advanced model which is more expensive, like chat and GPT-5 so on. For example, like GPT-5 chat. So this model is much more expensive. Let's say hi, can you help to write a poem about AgenticFlow? So the GPT-5, wow, you can see this is quite fast. Okay, do you have understanding about it? Is in your knowledge? If it was like May 2024, then I don't think it's us in that knowledge. Okay, but what if we can add a web search? Okay, you have a web search now. How about you search for it? What is the problem? Let me check. Because I don't have the connection. That's why. So maybe I will delete this one. What I'm going to do is I just do Google search, and I will replace this one with this one. And I will take the query from the query. I will save this one. I will say AgenticFlow. Let's see if my Google search is working. It's working. So this is going to be a Google search. You can use this workflow to search on Google. I save. And I go back to my agent, edit agent. I delete this one and I add it again. Google search. Okay. Use find out AgenticFlow and write a blog post button. What happened? Let's try the other model. So this one, it know how to pick up the tool search already, and I think it's going to start to writing some of this one. There's a question. Yeah, for that one, I will have to investigate what is the issue. Perhaps that is related to the latest model. So normally those error is going to happen when we having the invalid response from the model that not have been displayed well by UI. So we're still testing that. So for example, you can see here, Gemini GPT-5 Mini is able to go and Google search and can know who is what is AgenticFlow, and writing a blog post about that and so on. I use Markdown text, and that's pretty we still have to evaluate. Okay. So the second question from the example is how to take variable from workflow A into another workflow B. I don't think that is possible at the moment. So we have a concept that's saying like database where you can store the database information and you can write that to database, and maybe if that database is plugged into another workflow or the agent, then you can use that. Okay. But for now, sharing the variable between workflow is kind of like long-term memory. I will share you about this in the MAS part, because in MAS we actually take the memory to the next level, and we actually can share the memory between section to section to kind of like persistent of the memories. Yeah, okay, I will come back to that later. Okay, so I just want to finish this one first. So GPT-5 is here. Please try and let me know if any question and problem. I think I will need to go back to GPT-5 chat here and see what is the problem. But this is one of the things. So this is my take. Okay. This is the first one. But the second one I would like to share with you is GPT from my feeling or testing. So GPT-5 chat is actually equivalent, even prices higher than 5. However, the output performance on benchmark, the third-party benchmark, is pretty much the same. So there's that OpenAI just prices is higher to make it more premium, but technically you can use a GPT 5 which is 5x cheaper on the same task and for relatively low degree. Yeah, so this is some of the paper that I read, and people are also testing that as well. You can try and have, maybe that is something helpful for you. But this is some insight. So all of these part is kind of experience. I do not have like the backend data. I don't think that we have enough on this part. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is on GPT-5. I hope that you have. So I will take some time to answer the question. Agent thinking icon is very important. Yesterday I lost a lead because he did not know that the chat is still working and did not finish the chat. So the workflow did not send me the client conversation summary. All right. Yeah, true. So I think that there's a UI that we need to improve on that. Right now, I think, on the anonymous. Okay. Maybe I would, so I think for the GPT-5, we will stop here. Let's talk about the UX feedback. Okay. So agent thinking icon. Let end user know that there is thinking process or action calling in background. I think that this makes sense. Especially right now we have like more and more model that doing this kinds of like thinking stuff. So I think what we can do is we can improve the market rate so that we can have improve on this one. Okay. So thanks for the feedback. We will. I think I know what you mean, and this is something that I would like to fix as well. So within this next week, before 15 of like office hour, we will do it this one. All right. So the second question about like create a wait or on hold button. Java code attempt have failed. So at the moment there's no way to hold or the connection because we was kind of like running in a worker. So when the job have been firing and it will not running on the server itself because we have a like orchestration layer of like different worker that they will pick the job and they will take the job and they will execute the job. So they will have the longest section that they can live. And yeah, that's why we cannot save the holding for too long. But I think that definitely we can look into the detailed use case of your to see what is the use case, and perhaps that we can put some Python code like wait and sleep. Did you try the action JavaScript and then you put some sleep in there? I think right now in AgenticFlow we can add a workflow and we can put, for example, like this. So this is JavaScript. So you can write some JavaScript code in here. I believe that this is something that's valid. We can improve that, especially with the UI version 2 of the workforce. So I would like to show you what we mean by the UI version 2, but we are aiming to create more robust. It will including some of the action like loop, condition, yeah, if else, of course, and wait, and even like having a sub agent that running in the master agent or calling different other agent as well. So that is something that we will do. All right, let's move on this one. So from last week, we are actually having like a video to do. Come back home. Last week, when we are trying to test this one, we never are able to manage to finish the task. But because this one is super powerful, especially with GPT-5, because GPT-5 is a reasoning model that is baked by default. So it is more powerful. And then you can describe the agent to be more running step by step. So for some simple workflow, you don't even need to create a workflow. You just need to describe the step, like step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. So as promised, we are releasing an example. So this example is built by Suren. He is also on the call today as well. So thanks Suren for making this happen. So this is the video. I'm going to open it now. It is in Loom at the moment, but basically you can watch this in here or in this in YouTube, that we will post into YouTube. I would drop this one into Discord as well. For some reason, I think the camera is off. I think because of the it's too hot, so that's why. Let's see. I don't open my icon. Alright, so bear with me for a second. Maybe I will just play the video and let me know if you can listen to it.
First, let's go into the Agents tab. So this will work on any agent, but for the sake of today's demo, I'll be using this one. So we'll click on Edit Agent. And from here, we'll start a new chat. And the most important step is to turn on this task management toggle. Once on, hit the Save button. So from here, I'll give the AI a list of tasks to complete to show the task management feature in action. So I've composed this list of tasks beforehand. So basically, what I want the AI to do is to brainstorm some content related to marketing, and then generate an image, captions, and then post to relevant social media channels. So I'll copy and paste and I'll show you. I'll just enter it in, wait for the AI to process. So this AI will automatically update the status once the tasks are completed. So as you can see from here, the tasks are still pending. The AI is completing tasks, and now it is in progress one by one. And once the task is complete, the status will be shown as completed. So what this does is basically list out tasks for the AI so that it is more organized and accurate, and that it will be done more quickly by the AI. So this feature is very useful and is as simple as just turning on this toggle. Thank you.
It will be very easy as you just switch on this task, and then you in the system prompt with the agent, please make it as like a bullet point, like please use tasks to organizing your work. Step 1 you do this, step 2 you do this, step 3 you do this. Because this kinds of activity is kind of like you give a to-do list for your agent, and instead of like after multi-turn, it will forget things. And especially if you are going to run with the agent and multi-agent system, this concept is much more makes sense, because when we are working on multi-agent system, there will be no other like single agent anymore, and you would like it to maintaining the original target, right? So it means normally you will let the first planner agent to create a to-do list, and then everyone else in the team will focus on that to-do list in order to execute until completion. So that's why we make task management since beginning for workforce, but we believe that when we are bringing task management into agent, it can also be helpful. And if you enable task management in the agent itself, it can be also used later in workforce as well. So that is it. So thanks Suren again to making this video, and please post to YouTube so that everyone can have. So let me move on. So next one is MAS. All right, so MAS is having huge improvement this week. So we make a new DeepResearch, but we enrich that as an example so that we can have to show you how we build a multi-agent system. Later, I'm going to go through to you like what is the step to work with MAS and what is our experience as making the system. And also we are going to announcing about the extension of the refund windows so that you can have as well. Actually, I posted in the Discord group, but I would just like to mention here. So originally, we plan to go live MAS by end of July, and as your refund policy, you have 30 days to test it. But as you can see right now, we released the beta in middle of like July, and we have improved a lot since then. But for me personally, I don't think the MAS is currently at the best version that I'm planning to ship. So that's why I believe that it is better to give you more time. So I will put that back to the end of August to go live. So it means you can have a worry-free testing, experimenting until end of September, and I hope that you will find the value, and we will keep improving every week. So if it's end of September, so we at least have 6 more office hours, so I think we will be much better stage from there. And I don't want you to be rushed to test this one, because the product will getting better when we are building this one, and I hope that this is useful for you. And because the system is super powerful, it will also requiring tutorial and planning. So today we give you a multi-agent system for DeepResearch, and we will continue to expanding the where's the 5. Yeah, so it's this 5 team. Yeah, so for this 5 team, we are targeted to make it in August, and we will try to deliver as much as we can. Yeah, thanks for that. I think that is makes sense, because I don't want you to be rushing into this one, and you should choosing the product that you are making it the use of, and I'm happy to issue the refund, no problem. Yeah, just as I would like to give us a second chance to ensure the MAS can have the best possible outcome to you and for your business. All right, so I will show you how MAS research work. It will mean to be sharing another screen, so I will go back to that screen. Okay, let me make it screen smaller, and I'm go back to Discord, and I'm going to share a new screen. Change screen, add more windows, and I add this window. All right, so you should see my screen now. This is the workforce that we have. It is basic, the DeepResearch, but right now we are making it more robust. So let me show you how is it going to work first. So for example, this one is the run history on the right hand side. So right now it's more clean. It will split by days, so you can see all of the run of your workforce at once when you're visiting. When you are visiting this one, you will see that there's a work that have been done. So it will be triggered by a member. Like this is a very complicated deep research question. Historical evaluation. How society was perceived, manage attention. Well, I cannot answer this one, but we can have a team. So this one on the right hand side is a preview of the timeline of how each agent is working together. So you can just say it's a timeline where you are issuing the trigger, and then the first agent, there's a small issue. So this is the first agent, this agent. Deep research clarify with user. So this agent will like verification, and then it will provide an update. The reason why it have the UI JSON here, because we're not passing the data correctly, but technically it will show something like this, a block like this, and then it will rewriting my research query into something that more structured, and then after that it will hand over to a research agent that going to do the research, and this is going to be first call, second call, and third call. And this one, after it have been running, it will provide an update like evolution of attention, and it will give the result in here. And this blue part, this is we call human in the loop. So human in the loop is when the agent finish his first of the task already, you can give your command in here, and it will trigger another route. So the entire workforce on the left is actually the way that you config for that team to do. And so when you are asking some follow-up question and so on, that team will do the work again, and then they will follow your structure in order to have that. And some of the area that we are going to do is we will allow you to kind of creating a proactive human in the loop. So for example, it will stop and it will prompt to the user that, hey, I need some help on this one. Can you give me some suggestion? So this is useful in case that you have very complicated workflow that will require human approval, or maybe you're presenting option A or option B, and then the human will need to go and approve that. Because in our case, we will make a kind of like a activity monitor page where we are listing all of the work that the agent is doing. So each of these one is one of the tasks that you assign to your team to do. This human team is an AI team, but we will kind of like a flag in here, and we will split between need attention and everything else. So need attention is going to be the of the action that require you to make some action and I think I it's a bit, and this is quite good. I think right now the multi-agent system is more robust right now. When I asking it to research about PixelML, which is my company, and it will actually find out all of the information. And there's some error in display, but what it can do is it can show what we are doing, like image generation, video generation, QR code art, text, agentic AI workflow, which is AgenticFlow, of course. And it can do some financial performance. Oh shit, did I expose some financial? No, good. But anyway, it have been digging down and it finding this product that we have already sunset since last year, but it still show up, and it's actually able to identify us as a positioning, user review, competitive landscape, and so on. So let me show you how we build this multi-agent system. Okay. So the multi-agent system starting with a trigger node. So right now the trigger node is only like accepting the user message, but future we will allowing to accept like webhook or schedule it. That is easy. But everything is going to start with a trigger node. Okay. So after this, it will have an edge. So edge is something like the connection type. So the connection type is, so when you are looking in here and you will see that, after this one, then it do what? So it will hand over to the DeepResearch clarity with user. And because this is a next step, so it means after trigger, it go directly to here. And when you click on this agent, and there will be two parts that you should be aware of. One is the input and one is the setting. So these two tabs is split for their own reason. Okay. Setting is something that on the agent itself. So because this agent was created outside of the workforce. So it means this agent have already configured like instruction, like just you are helpful assistant, and it can have its own skill and knowledge and so on. But that's okay. So whatever that in the setting is with the agent. So this data is going to be configurable, and if you modify this data, maybe the agent behavior when it's working alone is also changed. So please be aware of that. And secondly is the input. So input is just imagine. So when users are outside, like if I click on this one and I create new message, and this message like hello world message is actually passing into this variable message state dot variable. So it means you can using this one to instruct the DeepResearch clarity with user on how to behave when incoming message coming in. So this is config at the workforce level, because we don't want to mess up with the instruction in here, because maybe you will employ this agent in multiple teams, and one team it can be working in this behavior and one team want to work in the other behavior. So you don't want to modify the core skill or instruction of that agent, but you want to modify the on-site instruction. Like you are working in the marketing team, so this is how you behave. And if you're working in a sales team, and this is how you behave. And input message is the way that you are configuring your agent, how it will behave in the workforce, in a team as a whole. Okay. So right now there is only one configuration, which is a message, but we are also having other configuration as well. Like what are the types of message it will return? Would that be like just a normal plain text message, or it can be a like structured JSON output or something other as well. So basically this is something that's very powerful. I need to write docs about this, but understand this one. And in here there will be some other button that you can use. You can copy node ID, you can delete it, or you can click on this one. It will open your original agent that you config, and you can using this one to and just be mindful that if you modify here, then any agent or workforce that using this agent is going to be impacted. Okay. So after this one, so giving the DeepResearch, for example, then after we clarify with user. So let me see in here. So when we are prompting to the agent, we are saying that, okay, you are the DeepResearch support. You need to clarify with the user, and you are only ask another question if absolutely necessary. And if it is some acronym and abbreviation, you should ask the question. So blah, blah. So basically, this is, you are instructing this agent how it will behave when there's an incoming message. But after this one, it will having split in condition. Okay, so this is where it's interesting. So you can click on this edge, and this is a connection type. So this is also the same type as the edge above, but this is, instead of next step, it is going to be condition. Condition mean you can use in order to describe like a state node output, clarify with user, which is you are referring to this one. and need clarification or not. So this is the variable that we config, and right now we are still not yet making the UI that you can select the input, but we definitely make it in a week or two. But basically, you are based on the output variable from this agent, and you can decide whether you going to assign that output into the research brief agent, or you are going to do it again. So you will having a node that's called state modifier. Basically, it is kind of like, in our case, it was saying like, I need to clarify with user again. And then you will just appending the method of user into this value, and then it can be reused in the later stage. Okay, so for we will have a documentation to how to use this node. But basically, after the research brief agent is receiving the task from the planner, then it will start to create a brief. And in this research brief, also, there will be two components that you are having. One is the setting of the research brief agent, and secondly is the input message, where you are using that to configure the behavior that happen on the team. So this one is for itself, like personal. Okay, the agent has personal personality. Okay, and for the input is like how it adapt into a team. Okay, so I think this is how we can have it. So in the setting, you will see that it have its own tool and workflow and so on. But in the input, you can also behave on this one, and you will get the state message, which is this one, the message from input of the user, and you put it like today is a day, so it will get the current day, so that it will search for relevant information, and then it will return a single research question that will be used to guide research, and it's going to be like, what is the guideline? Number 1, you do this. Number 2, you do this, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this is how this research brief agent is going to work. And after this research brief agent finish his task, then it will having the next action, which is connection type, which is next step, because in here we have no condition. Okay, and this condition is kind of like allow you to do decision between like whether you would like to clarify user more, or you can continue on this part. If there is no thing to clarify, then we just move to the next step, which is the supervisor agent. So in this supervisor agent, we are going to have its own of the information as well, and it will have the research supervisor. Your job is blah blah and blah blah, and then it will be able to take the input, which is the last message. Okay, so if you read this one, it will be like state.node output.research brief node and last message. This one is not clean. I mean, it's still like clunky, but we will make it as a selectable output. So you just understand that this supervisor, the agent, actually taking output from this research brief and as an input to it, and it will proceed that with the system prompt that you can configure in here, all of this one. And if you would like to add more sub agent to the supervisor, you can also do as well. So for example, you click on the add sub agent, and then you can add some researcher agent to that, and it will just here, and you can add multiple research agent, copy, and so this supervisor is having two research assistant, and it will able to and when there's an input message from the research brief, it will cascading down to this team. So you can using this one in order to make it icon. For example, like the research brief agent is going to already have the plan, and then it will hand over to a team of researcher that going to do the research. And after this team have been done on this one, and it will go to the next step. So which edge is going to having another agent that doing the DeepResearch final report. Okay, if you click on this one, and you see that this is the input of the behavior that we are expecting DeepResearch final report agent to do. Okay, we will tell it based on all the research conducted, have to do this one. So this is the research brief, and this is the overall message that original that user was triggering from here, and then blah blah, and then even like the citation rules. What is the citation rule look like? And then you can configure that in here so that the DeepResearch final report agent can actually using that in order to produce the final citation. Okay, and you can equip to the final report agent have some other tool as well. So for example, like output to a Google Sheet, or maybe create a PDF and send email to someone. That's easy. So that is belonging to the personality and skill of that single agent. But in the input, it was kind of like how you behave in a team environment. And you will take the task from this department and you will do something on your side, and that's that. And the output is this. Let me close this one. Where you have the file research paper with historical following all of the steps and with the citation of all of the sources, that multi-agent system that doing the research. So we make this one as an example so that you can use and you can kind of like experimenting how everything is work together in multi-agent system. So later we are going to publishing this multi-agent in here in the template, so that you can just click on replay and then you just duplicate this one. So that is going to be number 1 of the MAS template that we are providing. We still have 4 more to go until the end of the month, and we hope that it will help you some understanding of how to work with the multi-agent system. And any question, just ask. Okay. And next one, okay. Because we are talking about multi-agent system and the new UI, which is I'm so excited about. So I'm going to show you a sneak peek of what we are building for UI number 2, the version 2. Okay. So what you are seeing in here, even though it is recognizable and everything, but it is the version 1. And version that, let me go into this one. Okay. So this is a new UI where you have the start node. Let's organize. Maybe this one, it can be touchpad friendly or mouse friendly. And you can zoom in, you can click, you can edit title, create a copy, delete. You can modify and edit, enter the message here, reset brief node, and so on. You can add all other node. So right now we are just having 2 nodes, which is agent and LM, but we are going to make loop, condition, even like wait and modify. Even like 10,000 MCP tool, it's going to be accessible on this infinite canvas that you can use, because we believe that multi-agent system is so powerful that our current workflow UI is not able to accomplish this one. So that's why we decide that we take time to make this one. And yeah, of course, you can using fit view, you can have a mini map, you can search around so that you can easy to navigate. You can even like do some back and forth, so that you can even lock to read only, like this. Yeah, and there's part in here as well. Like you can chant. If you don't like the message, you can just chant into this one. Yeah, so this is the version 2 of the UI. So we already incorporate that into AgenticFlow, and next week we will adapt it into multi-agent system. And you will be able to see a dramatically increase in the user experience with this one. Yeah, thanks for this. Yeah, I am also very excited about the version 2 of the UI. So the workflow graph, so this is a great idea, I would say. But I think for now, we will still focus on MAS first, because the workflow and agent and multi-agent system actually totally different. So if we would like to make workforce to backward compatible into the workflow, actually we need to redo the workflow from ground up with this one. If I make custom layout, it will store your position of exactly node. So when you are putting it there, it will show up there exactly. Yeah, so the positioning of the node. So if you are would like to arrange it in the way that you like, it will showing exactly the way it is. And because we want that to have the how to say, the left and the right will be sync. So actually we are aiming that when that agent is providing update, on the left hand side it will light up, so that you can actually see the debugging of the data, actually how the data is flowing in, and which agent is processing, and how long does it take, what are the messages that it take, and even we can drill down into API code, then how long does it take to code into OpenAI, maybe the latency, so that you can switch between model. For example, instead of instead of this model, I think we will have to add the model here, but we will allow you to switch the model of the agent in workforce so that you can trial and test. You can see like, maybe for this brief agent, I don't need GPT-5. I just need 4o mini because it's cheap and fast for this one. But for supervisor, because it is very compute expensive and it needs to think a lot. So I need to using a very good model. So in a DeepResearch agent, actually we are exploring that, and we will allow you to do configuration. So for your entire team, you will be able to configure each of the action. We call it node actually. So what this is a node, this is a node, and this is a node, and even like Google Search is also can be a node as well. So you can plug Google Search in here. It can be tool, trigger, and state modifier. You can just click node in here, and then you can just put that. Where is that? Okay. So we call this tool. So it means your agent, after doing the DeepResearch, it can code some workflow that you are predefined in here, and you can keep going on and on and on. And this tool doesn't have to be powered by LM. It can be just price checking, ChatGPT, web search, Google Drive, or calling an internal API. So multi-agent system is going to expanding the ability that you can have different agents to work together with a workflow or the tool that you're creating. And yeah, I think after this stabilize and so on, maybe we will have something in order to improve other UX and so on. And if there's some chance we can make it backward compatible with the current workflow, we will evaluate that. Okay, right. So what else? I think that's it. Workforce is something that we are really into at the moment. Yeah. So just repeat. The go live is extended until the end of August. So you will have until end of September for worry-free experimenting, and there will be no problem with like the refund windows and so on. So I hope that you will to see the version 2 of our UI before you make the final decision. I hope that that's makes sense to you. All right, good. So I think we are also running out of time for today already. So I think if you have any question, you can feel free to ask. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Anton is typing something. Yes. At the moment, we are not enabled in here yet, but you can still click on this one, and it will open the agent itself, and then you can just select a new model in here. I can change that into GPT-5, and I save, and then the workforce actually using is just into that agent. So it means whatever that you are modifying in the agent itself is going to be changed on the agent. So later we can make it more convenient that you can select the model in here as well. So that would be more convenient. Yeah, but the fundamental concept is the same. Yes, correct. So the node can be an agent, can be a workflow, can be a trigger, can be some action as well. So one of the things that I think you guys also noticed that in AgenticFlow we have these like web search, right? But in here, actually this one as itself is already working, but right now we still have to wrap it in a workflow in order to put it into an agent. But what if we can skip that part? So if you need Google Search, then you just add Google Search. You don't need to create a workflow with Google Search to use. So it means it will be more convenient when you are building your system. You just need to drag Google Search in. You just need to like upload to Google Drive. Yeah, because I know who else would like to manage like 1,000 of workflow with only one action, right? I don't want to do it, and I don't think that you can do it. Yes, can. It MCP action actually. So it can be. I think good point. Node can be an MCP. We can create an MCP node. It will work similar like the current run MCP. Yeah, so it will work similar like this. So that you can select an NAN, and then you can select action, and it will be doing the same. Or you can just select directly the Google Search action. But if you select this one, it's going to be like 10,000, so it's a bit like overwhelming. if you would like to have run MCP action node, I think that's doable as well. Yeah, so I think you're just joining a bit behind. So we are announcing that right now AgenticFlow credit can be used on GPT-5 Nano. And this one model is a big one, and it can having the bigger context and with the latest knowledge in May 30 and max output token. So you can use that. Yeah. Which is the best MCP for Gmail, especially archiving? So you should using the MCP provided by Python or maybe Composio can also good. I say that Composio is quite reliable on the archiving and delete. You can try it on their side. Yeah, I think that is also good. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube right is just broken. I cannot live, but I have the recording already. I will re-upload that to everyone. All right. Good. So I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone for your time to join. This week, having a little update, on this one. I think GPT-5 is, like taking over. I'm still trying to understand what is, GPT-5 is good at. Wait, so what is next? What you can expect from, 15, is, publishing to Discord. So this one is the active work stream. We are working toward that. After Discord, it's going to be Telegram, Slack, and WhatsApp. So eventually, we will executing the roadmap that we promised you earlier in the month. So that's next week. You should expect Discord. And second one is we are going to having the replicate MCP demo. Thanks, Jay. So replicate is a great company. I mean, I like this a lot. They are making MCP. And I'm planning a video. So AI video creation. It can be text to speed to on-screen visual and final video creation. Yes, so we hope that next week we will make the video script working again, and I would use a workforce that can text to speed into replicate to having the VO3 on-screen visual, VO3 on-screen visual, and finally compose that to video creation with caption. Yeah, I need to spend time to work on this, but I believe this is something that super valuable if you are in content generation space. So this is good because replicate having MCP, and I like it a lot, and we will find some time to produce on this part. Good. So thanks everyone for your time, and I hope that this is enjoyable today, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.